Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is our Simple Abundance year and we are now in the month of February. We've graduated from January. We learned about the principles of simple abundance. This is from Sarah Ban Breathnach's book, Simple Abundance. Her principles are joy, harmony, beauty, order, simplicity, and gratitude. And so now we kind of have a sense of how the year is going to go. This is our day book that we're reading, and I am doing videos about various entries and adding in a little bit of flavor and some of my own joyful simplicities that I've come up with over the past few years of following along with Sarah's words. I'm going to touch upon today a little bit about February, and I'm going to hold up. This is the new book that we are following along in. This is the 2019 edition that came out at the end of the year. And then this is the old one that I mentioned in my intro video. I've had for years and years, 1996, I think. And I already set up February as being the month of love, right? We think about romance and love when we think about February, I think. And what I hadn't done yet, because I did share with you guys that I am just like you and I'm reading this new version of the book, I hadn't really cross-referenced the old and the new versions yet for February, and I was really surprised that actually February is quite different. And so I am going to be loaning, or borrowing I should say, from the old version quite a bit this month, because there are some things like, Sarah, I love you if you're watching this, but why did you take out some of the awesome joyful simplicities from February? And I already have things that I want to share with you that I've done based on some of her past February joyful simplicities, which are now not in the new version. And last month I didn't talk about the joyful simplicities until the end of the month, and the reason for that was because you're just joining me on this journey, and there was so much to talk about before we even got into what joyful simplicities were. I sort of introduced them early in the month, but then I didn't go into detail about what they were. But what I plan to do in this video, I'm going to do it, is I'm going to start off each of the months with the joyful simplicities, because now we know what they are. So they're listed at the end of each month. And I did recommend in another video that as you're starting a month that you look ahead at the joyful simplicities so that you can kind of map out the month, get a sense of what we might be discussing in some of the entries, and then putting a month together, or some things that you can do to really have a more joyful experience for the month. So this is going to be sort of similar to the video that I just did a few days ago where I went over the January ones, but we're starting off February now. I mentioned in another video too this first joyful simplicity. Tomorrow is February 2nd and it's Candle Loss, and you can read about, there is a whole entry on what it is, and what Sarah encourages us to do is to have a night where you light all the candles and sit by candlelight. I know it's Super Bowl Sunday, so it's not necessarily going to be realistic, and I'm going to a Super Bowl gathering, so I'm not going to be doing an actual video in live time tomorrow. But I hope you do that, even if it's not on February 2nd, just to experience the feeling and the stillness of sitting by candlelight. If you've ever made your own candles, it's kind of neat too. I'm remembering now that a friend of mine gave me a candle at the beginning of 2019, and we actually took, I think it was just toothpicks, and we wrote some intentions on the candle and then burned it on the first full moon. It was sort of a little ritual. Hi, Annabelle. And so there's something really special about candlelight, don't you think? So I'm reading, I should have said too, I'm reading the Joyful Simplicities right now from the updated version of the book. This month, this next one is also going to be discussed in an entry or two we're going to be talking about creating a sacred space for yourself in your home. I definitely encourage you to put that on your list. Even if it's just like a special chair that you have by a window and you have a really soft blanket and a pillow, that could be your sacred space. It doesn't have to be like an altar or, you know, like it doesn't have to be something super elaborate. So keep that one in the back of your mind. She's got an entry about, you'll have to read this one because she goes into detail about having hot chocolate soup for dinner and then layering buttered toast and doing a whole bunch of stuff with chocolate. It sounds delicious. So read that one. This next one, she asks if we found a wonderful picture of ourselves when we were 10. And I am going to do a video about something that me and my girlfriends did back in 2018 along the lines of this. But if you need to get with a family member to get some pictures of yourself as a child, then you can do that ahead of time. She mentions the age of 10, but you could have other ages. But just finding a picture of yourself as a child that you really like. And then we'll talk about that more in another entry and video. I really like this next one. This is not from the old book, so, and I just want to say one thing about it after. I'm going to read this, what she says. A bedtime ritual for blissful mornings is to arrange a pretty tray for your morning tea or coffee and leave it ready on the kitchen counter. Finding it waiting for you begins your day gracefully, and if you really want to know what it's like to be pampered, you'll also find a clean kitchen and empty sink to greet you. It doesn't take much to make us happy, and these simple perks are among those things that money can't buy. And I did talk to you guys about, in the video about order, where I mentioned Fly Lady says that if you can keep your kitchen sink clean and empty, that can have a positive effect on you as well. So I'm not a big coffee or tea in the morning person, so I don't know that I will do this tray idea, but I love the idea of it. And actually something that I have started doing that's sort of similar, but it's a going to bed thing, is that I have started laying out my pajamas on the bed with my bathrobe, and I've even gone so far as to spray them with lavender sometimes. So it's like an invitation to have a luxurious evening. And so that's kind of something similar to this idea with the tray. I really like the idea of the tray. I was trying to think of what I would do if, like, would I put cereal on it, or what would I do to have a tray set up for the morning. I really like the idea. I don't know. I have to contemplate that one more. She asks us again, she mentioned this in the month before, are we growing any spring bulbs inside? I still haven't done that yet, but I think I might. Oh, can you see in the view here? Yes, you can, on my windowsill back there. She says to us, and I don't think it's listed in this Joyful Simplicities, but it's in one of the entries in February that I was looking over, to get primroses for your windowsill. She said something about the kitchen window, but I put it in my living room window. So I just went out and got those in preparation for February, and they do add like a springtime feeling. So I haven't done the growing the bulbs yet, but I did get my primroses. Let's see. She talks about, oh, it actually, sorry, it is the next one. Get a basket of primroses in the kitchen windowsill. It's a mood lifter. Okay, so it actually was right there. There's a few here that also cross over to the other book. Wear perfume every day. I can't say I'm a huge perfume wearer, but maybe there's a lotion or something that you find luxurious that you could wear. Try red lipstick. I'll have to do a video where I put red lipstick on. Listen to the music of Cole Porter. Make a batch of old-fashioned chocolate fudge for Valentine's Day. And then she's got a listing of a bunch of books that she likes to read that take her off to encounter new places and people. So you can check those out. All right, so then back to the other book. So the other book definitely makes February more of a month of love, like I set it up. And it's still gonna be a month of love, I have to tell you. I've already got, I'm not gonna turn the camera around this time, but I've already got my counter set up with flowers, and I put my heart runner out, and then I have this "All You Need Is Love" card that I just found out today when I stopped in for an errand at a store. So it's already turning out to be a lovely month so far. Okay, so this one makes me so sad that she took this out of the book. I should have blown up pictures so that I could show you guys how much fun this was. We did this in 2018 with my Simple Abundance ladies. I'm gonna read it. Invite a few friends over the Sunday before Valentine's Day to make handcrafted paper confections for those you love at a Cupids Tea. Assemble the prettiest doilies you can find along with wired silk ribbon, floral fabric, wrapping paper, stickers, and construction paper. Don't forget glue sticks and sharp scissors. Borrow some books of poetry from the library and try your hand at reviving this lost art form. Served heart-shaped cake with pink butter frosting, heart-shaped scones with strawberry jam and sherry. Try this once and it's sure to become a February tradition. We had so much fun, and I did the decorating. So I made little placemats for everybody, and I had doilies, and I had little goodies, like I did the red lipstick, and then later in the book, if it's still in the new book, she encourages us over the summer to wear red toenail polish, so I gave everybody red toenail polish. I did little candies, I made little place cards, and I had hearts hanging from the chandelier, and we had tea. We didn't actually make the Valentine's, we didn't do that part of it, but we just had like a little Cupid's tea party, and it was so fun. So I would definitely recommend that one. It makes me sad, like there was actually room that she could have left that one in. I don't know why she took it out. And this next one, this is one I cannot believe is not in the new book either. And I have done this now, this will be my 4th year doing this. I want you to do this one, okay? Write a long, wonderful love letter to yourself from your authentic self. Compliment yourself for everything you're doing right now, just the way you are. Let your authentic self encourage you as you would a young child. Mail the letter and save it for when you're feeling discouraged. I've done this, and actually I don't usually open them, but I've saved them all. But that's actually a good thought to keep them in a place that you might go to if you are feeling discouraged and you want to read those. And then this next one is why I consider February, I was planning on it being the month of love, and like I said, it's still gonna be my month of love. This month, become an incurable romantic. And she lists out reading some authors, and what we did with my Simple Abundance ladies is we listed out our favorite love songs, and we listed out our favorite romantic movies. And that was fun to share with friends, because sometimes there might be a movie that they love and you've just never seen it. So all of February that year, I just watched all kinds of romantic movies. It's not unlike when you sit around and watch Hallmark Christmas movies at Christmas time. So this was just like a romantic comedy, romantic movie sort of experience. And you could do the same thing with books or poetry or something like that. Some of these are all the same. Yeah, so the February Joyful Simplicities in the new book, there's more of them, but then I'm sad that some of the older ones are not there anymore. But now they are, because you just heard me say them. So I hope you're getting your February list together. I hope you're feeling great and that your gratitude practice is lifting you up. I know for sure that I am feeling a big difference from a month ago on January 1st. So thank you for being a big part of that and for all your encouragement and positive feedback. And we will continue having an awesome February together. We're gonna really get into the self-exploration of reconnecting with our authentic self this month. And then we'll sprinkle in a little bit of romance too. Oh, there's one more. I don't know how I skipped it. It must have been, it's probably only one line in the old one. She also says to buy yourself a long stem rose for your desk. So I'm going to do a video, a Valentine's Day video too, where I always buy myself roses for Valentine's Day. But you could have the rose on your desk. I should show you a picture actually. In 2018, I got one of those giant flowers from, you know, where you can go to Michael's or one of the craft stores where they have the gigantic flowers. And I put it in a gigantic vase, and I had a big rose outside my front door as part of my welcome home Carolyn thing. So I took that advice and I ran with it in a big way. So you could do that as well. You could get one of those giant roses too. There's probably more options for those now too, a few years later. All right, I'm rambling, but thank you for being with me, and let's have an awesome February, and I will see you on the next video.